I have spent a lot of time over the past few years talking about how Hisense's TVs consistently offer some of the best price to performance ratios on the market. Each year, the product technology and picture quality get better and better, and yet somehow the prices remain increasingly competitive. I think what I like best about Hisense's approach is the quiet confidence it shows in its premium ULED mini LED TV lineup. Hisense doesn't do a ton of flashy marketing. They tend to let their products speak for themselves. And I think that's why Hisense is subtly becoming the if you know brand. But before you really know, you kind of have to own one. Fortunately, we're coming up on the holiday shopping season when we see the best prices on TVs all year. But which Hisense TV should you get? Hisense has the U6, U7, and U8 lines available. And then there's the ultra premium UX and the MX series, which are, let's be honest, kind of insane. Insanely fun anyway. So which model should you be looking at? Let's figure that out together. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caleb Dennison. Thanks to Hisense for sponsoring this video and for getting its holiday pricing details to me early so I could share them with all of you. All opinions and observations in this video are my own, and with that, we have got to start with the Hisense U6, more properly known in internet searches as the U65QF. Save that model in case you end up searching for it online. The U6 has always been one of the easiest and smartest TV choices on the market. It's the entry into Hisense's top-tier ULED TV lineup, and it's always been competitively priced. But when you see what it's going for during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you're gonna be really surprised. Speaking of seeing, I'll dive into the U6's specs and features in a moment. Story time first. I recently took a stroll through the Hisense paddock at Best Buy the other day, and when I saw the U6, I immediately got the appeal. I haven't reviewed the U6 series in a while, so I frankly did not know how hard it was punching until I saw this 55-inch model in person, and well, now I get it. As it stands, the 65-inch model of the U6, I tend to use the 65-inch models as my relative pricing standard, okay? The 65-inch U6 comes in at about $588. That's right, a top-tier 65-inch TV for less than $600. But it's gonna get even better. Wait till I tell you what it's going for during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. But even at its regular price, it's a steal, right? You can get the U6 in 55, 65, 75, 85, and all the way up to 100 inches in screen sizes. It promises up to 1,000 nits of peak brightness. I always say never settle for less than a claimed 600 nits for HDR, so the U6 is not only putting real sparkle into the HDR picture, but the full screen brightness is suitable for nearly any room. It supports all the HDR formats, including Dolby Vision. You get premium mini LED backlighting, strong backlight control for minimal halo and blooming, 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, expanded QLED color. It's remarkably accurate in the filmmaker mode picture preset. You get a native 144 Hz panel plus Amazon Fire TV and Amazon's you-know-who, Alexa. All of that built right in. I mean, come on, it kind of blows up the whole value terminology. But I was sitting there in the store and thinking, you know, if the 85-inch model of this thing dips down under $1,000, it's going to be the no-brainer hit of the holidays. Well, I just so happen to have the super secret holiday price list right here, and it looks like the 85-inch U6 is going for well under $1,000. It is indeed the slam dunk I thought it was going to be. You know what's crazy? The 75-inch is going to be under $750, the 65 is under $550, and the 100-incher under $1,900. 100 inches of actually great performance under $1,900. Take a second to wrap your head around that. I mean, every year I think we've hit peak sale pricing shock value, and then I'm proven wrong. Speaking of that word, value, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not sure if the U6 is the real value leader here or if it's the next TV, the U7, because here's the deal, and this is kind of an issue. The U7 is a pretty special upgrade from a performance perspective, but it doesn't cost a whole lot more, especially down in the lower screen sizes. And that could make for a tough decision. But that's why we're talking about this now, so you can figure it out well ahead of the sale. So if you haven't figured it out already, we're not talking about Hisense's good, better, best proposition here. The ULED lineup is Hisense's great, greater, greatest proposition. The U6 is great. It's well above all those doorbuster TVs you'll see people clamoring to grab on Black Friday. But as great as the U6 is, the U7 is even greater. In fact, it's been one of my 2 go-to TV recommendations for 4 years running now. You just can't go wrong with the U7 because the U7 is the kind of TV that I feel makes people gawk, jaw agape when they walk into your living room. The U7 is like the perfect model for gamers. It promises up to 3,000 nits peak brightness. Now, if you don't know your nits from your nog, that's eggnog, folks, this TV has enough brightness to sparkle up your holiday tree from across the room. The HDR imagery is dazzling. It has more than enough full screen brightness to look punchy and impressive even in a sun-soaked room during the day. You know what? I have to peel off the specs and features for a second to remind you that the 65-inch U7 typically goes for under $1,000 at around $900. So it's already a no-brainer, right? You see why I like to recommend this TV so much? But wait until you hear the holiday sale price. Back to the fun stuff. The U7 runs Google TV, which is my personal favorite baked-in smart TV system. It's got a 165 Hz native panel, so it's gonna thrill high-end PC gamers. Pantone validated quantum dot color, which is surprisingly accurate in the filmmaker mode picture preset. It does all the HDRs. It's got IMAX enhanced and awesome anti-reflection coating. Like I said, it's an awesome bright room TV and sports TV and an excellent dark room movie watching TV with up to 3,000 local dimming zones in the largest model. Oh, speaking of, you can get it in 55, 65, 75, 85, and once again, 100 inches. And you ready for this? It goes up to 116 inches. Now, I already mentioned that the 65-inch model goes for just under $900. The 85-incher is under $1,400 normally, but what about those sale prices? Well, here they are. And now you can see what I mean by a tough choice. The 65-inch model drops to under $750, which is just $200 away from the 65-inch U6. Stepping up to the larger sizes, though, that's where you see where the U6 is just the undeniable value king. Anyway, I love the U7. That's still my go-to. Here is the price list. But if you want to go big without breaking the bank, you're gonna wanna focus on the U6 lineup, I think. Okay, so honestly, for most of you, this video is about done, really, because between the U6 and U7, most of you are covered. But for those of us who want peak performance, and I mean, we're talking about the ultimate brightness, the ultimate backlight control, the best color, the latest features, the most powerful processing, the finest tuning, well, that is the U8. And if you haven't already seen my review of this TV, it is right up here. You're welcome to go check that out, but stick with me here for a minute. I'm not sure what I can say about the U8 that I haven't already said in my rather glowing review. I mean, the U8, you'll see it online as the U8 QG sometimes, is just the whole package. It is a thoroughbred TV that just glows with premium picture quality. It's refined, but it's also massively powerful. Up to 5,000 nits peak brightness, tested that myself, and more than enough local dimming control to basically eliminate blooming and halo effect. The blacks on this TV are jet black, and the HDR highlights will knock your socks off. The sparkle, the motion, the depth, the U8 QG is what put Hisense shoulder to shoulder with the most revered TVs of the year, and it's a true marvel. I'm gonna stop there and just say the U8 QG is the top choice in Hisense's lineup, and it is a stellar TV, full stop. Now, as I'm recording this video, the 65-inch version goes for just under $1,100, which is already unbelievable. But during the holiday shopping event, you can get the 65-inch for under $1,000. Like I said in my review, that's just, you gotta do it. I mean, if you can go for the U8, run, don't walk to go get one. I'm sure retailers are well stocked, but don't leave anything to chance. Just click the buy button now, honestly. You can see the pricing for all the other sizes here as well. I mean, it's a premium TV, but this pricing is well below anything you'll pay for something that can barely keep up with this TV. For me, as a premium TV snob, the U8 is just kind of shocking, and so are these prices. So hopefully you can understand why I'm so excited to share these pricing details with you. And no joke, if you get this TV and set it up for the holiday, I want to hear about it, okay? Email me at askcaleb@calebrated.com and put Hisense in the subject line. Toss some photos in there. I want to hear all about it. Oh, and that reminds me, I'm going to be doing a live stream Q&A on the morning of November 23rd. So mark your calendars and come through with your questions. Let's see if we can't get you all dialed in for the holidays. That's Sunday, November 23rd in the AM. Subscribe to the channel now and you'll see the reminder posts and ring that bell so you're notified when the live stream actually starts. All of that was a lot, so let's sum this up. The U65QF, otherwise known as the U6, is the TV I think the vast majority of folks should buy. It's a bright, punchy TV with vivid color, a high refresh rate panel that's great for gaming and sports, and its mini LED backlighting system and dimming zones are going to make for great movie watching too. The U6 is a considerably more powerful TV than most of the competition at or below its price point. So saying it's value-packed seems like a major understatement, honestly. The U7 or U75QG is the TV I recommend most to folks that are picky about picture quality and out for the best deal they can get. It puts out an intensely dazzling picture, its HDR sparkle is captivating, and its 165 Hz panel makes it the best option for gamers. Its increased dimming zone count makes for intensely deep blacks and eye-popping contrast. It's just a stellar TV at an extremely attractive price, which is why I suggest it so often and with total confidence. The U8, also seen as the U8QG, is Hisense's most refined and aggressive TV yet, with performance that far exceeds expectations. This is a TV that puts the rest of the industry on notice. It's the true if you know TV. It's quietly exceptional, which is a refreshing kind of flex these days. If you want some bragging rights, this is the TV to get. Now, I think we've about covered the TVs that most of you will be looking at, but I'd be remiss if I didn't also mention that Hisense makes a 116-inch RGB mini LED UX model that is, frankly, one of the most startling, innovative TVs ever made. It was the toast of CES 2025. Plus, there's also the Hisense MX. That's the 136-inch micro LED TV. Also a thing. That's a very special display indeed. And if you're lucky, you might live next to a Best Buy store where you can actually see the 136MX in person. Speaking of, the Hisense section of your local Best Buy store is a great place to see all the TVs I talked about today in person. I also have shopping links for these TVs down in the description, and using those links helps support the channel, so thank you very much for that. Don't forget about that live stream coming up on Sunday, November 23rd. Bring your questions and come say hi to me. I'll see y'all on the next one, and until then, take care.